Hello, welcome to Online Strategy Podcast. This is your host, Jason Wydrow, on this Tuesday, October 5th, 2021. The topic for today is visual design and your advertising, promotion, anything you're putting out on the internet. How important is visual design? When I say visual design, what I'm referring to are the fonts, colors, sizes, shapes, product photos, and everything else that visually represents your service or the products you offer. I can tell you this is something I could really talk about a lot. Back in 1999, I was managing an online store, and this was a time when it was still pretty amazing to have products on the internet for sale. I mean, the fact that you had a website that had products was a big deal, and design wasn't as common as it is today. It was more functional just because it was the internet. It was almost new, and there were a lot of changes happening in the way design occurred in relation to websites and product photos and things like that. So I'm just going to jump straight to this. I think visual design has a tremendously important role in presenting a product or a service, but ultimately, I think reviews and referrals will outweigh any day of the week. Personal referrals and quality, authentic reviews that a user can see online will outweigh design elements. For example, I have seen restaurants that had very basic design. Nothing fancy at all, but there are always lines coming out the front of their building, and their online reviews are just amazing. It's a perfect example. So when I talk about visual design and when I make recommendations on visual design, it's really a brand component, okay? You know, if you want to make your brand really fancy and put all the focus on the design, that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But any day of the week, I will say it's the guts and bones of what's inside that's going to make or break your business. That I will hold with me, even though I'm in the field of design. I'm in the field of promotion, marketing, and advertising, and creating these things. They definitely help attract attention. They definitely help sell and facilitate the sale of products. But ultimately, when it comes down to, if I said, will design make you successful? No. Now, will design make you successful in terms of the design of your clothing, your product? Possibly. That's different. I'm referring to the brand and the way you represent yourself through visually. I am sure you can sit there right now and off the top of your head, think of 5 or 10 YouTube videos you've seen recently or product promotions that you've seen that weren't anything really special or fancy, but they caught your interest, they caught your attention, and maybe you even ended up buying something, or maybe it's an existing product you're already aware of. Everyone is not Apple. That's a very important thing to remember. Apple is Apple. Apple was design-centric. That was one of the focal points of the creation of the product, was design in mind. And yes, of course, think differently. So that was differently at the time in relation to computers, thinking about this design element. This was very unique and special and unique to Apple. But every brand is like that. Every brand has its special, unique quality. But again, it rolls back to the meat and bones. What's inside? What does it do? How well does it perform? I mean, you can think of any service industry you know, any grocery store, any restaurant you know, and throw away their logo, throw away the interior design, any service that you get, and are you paying for the design, or are you paying for the meat and bone? Are you paying for the product or service? Okay, so to me, and this is something that's very true to me. Again, I'm in this field of design, so I'm kind of going against the grain of what I should be saying per the book. But design will help you sell products. Design will help you attract new business. Design will be appealing and open the door for new potential. Okay, you can create a fancy sign on a new restaurant that just attracts attention. No one's ever heard of the restaurant before, but a really cool sign just attracts attention. It could be a website. It's a really elegant, beautiful website that just keeps people engaged. But think about the best websites in the world, the websites we use every single day. Amazon. Amazon isn't anything fancy. It's functional. You know, it's the most productive shopping cart in the entire world. And it's really nothing design centric about it. Yes, of course, there's design put into it, but it's it serves the purpose of what people are paying for. You know, so if you are investing in your online presence, if you're putting money in your online promotion and advertising, it's definitely important that the advertising and whatever you're pouring out there does effectively communicate who you are as a brand, who you are as a business. That is important. But if that supersedes the delivery and the quality of the product itself, then now you begin to get this imbalance of, are you just trying to sell new people your product, or are you actually trying to establish and build a business for loyal customers into the future? Now, if you're like Apple, and I use Apple as an example because they're kind of the best of both worlds, in my opinion. They do have a tremendous focus on the visual aspects, and they should, because the products that they create, generally speaking, talk to and work well with the very products that we would create those designs with. So it's all, you know, that's kind of the, again, Apple's Apple, you know? And there's one thing that I can say that rings true is that authenticity wins online. Authenticity wins, you know. When you have a product or a service or something that you offer, and the way that you just make it known simply and easily and accessibly, sometimes that's all it takes. And again, for all the businesses, the hundreds of businesses that I've worked with, that I've helped in their advertising, promotion, marketing, it's really come down to the product. And the advertising, promotion, and all that was just building the business, was helping generate new people in the door. But ultimately, it was the product itself. You know, it was the service itself that had the value. And yes, it's true. You know, some people like to buy a brand because it has a nice box, or, you know, they really like how it looks and it's appealing, and I feel like that's the one they want, and it talks to them in some way. And, you know, and that's what good design does. It does talk. You know, so anyway, I'm going to end off in just keep the balance in with your design, your product, and service, and don't outbalance the wrong way. Jason Wagner here with Online Strategy Podcast. Thank you for listening in today. I hope you took something away from this that was useful. Have a great night.